But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marvels. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to CVRcade World Cup Racing run-up to the World Cup. We've got a great Omnium here shaping up in Zone T. 4 great races starting from low skill up to high skill and absolutely leg smasher. We have Aqua Velo, we have Dark Matter Spire, we have Barnyard Velo, and we have Summit Island Redo. So if you have not seen the new Summit Island, you will see it tonight. It was raced in K&L, and the racers did get a little bit tripped up on it because some of the visual cues were a little bit different. But right now we've got a number of racers in the pen. We have Nigel Doyle, we have Daniel, we have Aaron, Jennifer, Kayla. We see Homer also warming up. This is going to shape up to be a high energy race. Let's start things off. Check in with Jennifer. She did race in her early Omnium. She did work with Ben. She was cheering Ben on in the chat. Back for more, Jennifer. The sarcastic pink sloths are really coming out to play.
Yeah, I'm definitely just trying to build up my endurance. I think tonight I'm going to be taking it super easy, so probably nothing crazy for me tonight, having done the Omnium earlier. But I'm trying to get 2 in on race days this go around. So.
Well, I think that's good. That helps your endurance. I know that's one of your goals. So picking one to race and one to ride is a good objective, but I know how competitive you are, so we'll see how true you stick to your word. Good luck out there. We've also got Daniel. Now, Daniel is the Team Cognition rider, and Daniel is on rollers here. He's getting himself situated. He raced a whole Omnium on rollers. And Daniel, I noticed you have your buttons you posted on CVRcade Riders, so now you're going to try those power-ups on course. Is this true?
Yes, I have a USB number pad mounted to my bars, so we'll see if I can take my hand off long enough to reach a number or two and try and use a power-up.
Well, I did see you on social media saying hopefully you don't crash on course or on your bike. I really want you to stay focused. This is the second time ever, ladies and gentlemen, anyone has done races on rollers, which means he's not on a fixed trainer. He's got to keep his balance. He's got to keep his wheels upright, not only in the game, but also in, pardon me, in real life. I don't know. All right, just under a minute to go. Hey, Aaron, can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, we have audio and 30 seconds to go. I've lost my voice. Have you found your mojo?
No, and I actually feel a little sick today, so we'll see how it goes. But I got this in the mail. That'll give me some more gears, so I don't know. Going from 14 tooth to 11 tooth. We'll see how that goes. But
it's so shiny.
Yeah.
It's so shiny and pretty. You'll get that dirty quick. Well, just under 15 seconds to go. Good luck on Aquavella. We have Comeback Kid as a power-up. We have Uncrashable, Corner Caper, and Quantum Shift as abilities, which means there's no crashing on this course, a low-skill event. Kayla up out of the saddle, starting out strong here. She knows how to race this course, but it is Nigel Doyle who takes the front position. Jennifer settles in. Aaron's also in the front. Kayla, looks like all of these guys are making it together. Looks like Homer just a couple seconds back with Daniel. Again, Daniel, on the rollers here, my voice has seemed to resolve itself. That was a really funny thing. All right, Nigel, Jennifer, Kayla, Aaron, Homer, and Daniel. This is going to be a fierce omnium. This race happens quick, and if you lose the draft, you get spit out the back. Aqua Velocourse, Nigel, the team velocity rider, recent add to Team Velocity, a wonderful addition. He absolutely destroyed the field and did magical things in the CVR World Cup last season. And this season, he's going to bring even more. I just know it. Daniel, team cognition rider here. The control, that is what CVRcade is saying. And Homeward Frame also says, wow, Daniel, he's impressed here. The chat is already heating up. You've got a lot of love out there. So Tay Feelers is also in the chat. So any questions you have about the racing that you see tonight, feel free to ask it. You want to cheer on a racer. These racers love to hear the chat cheer them on. It's one thing to hear my voice calling it, but it's another to know that you are watching and you are rooting for them. Side by side, Kayla Laguna and Nigel Doyle here. CVRcade racer. Kayla was dominant force in the last racing. She did have a little injury to come back from, so she's been rebuilding, taking care of herself, but still racing a couple omniums on these Tuesdays and Thursdays. It does look like Homer and Daniel are using that comeback kid to try to get back to Kayla. So if they are not coordinated, one can undo the other. Daniel just a little bit further back, but Kayla, Nigel, Aaron, the gap is about 13 seconds, but Homer is getting closer. He's within 5 seconds now. Daniel within 10 seconds. Daniel is needing to shift his bike. He does not have a fixed trainer. He has got those legs. You can see that he's moving at a high cadence because on this course, you're in the draft and you can kind of run out of gears because you don't feel the same resistance that you do if you're not benefiting from that draft. So Nigel in the front, a little bit more than halfway in here, 1.2 kilometers to go. Nigel in the front. Jennifer also, who said, I might take it a little bit easier. I raced earlier, finds herself in a position here where I know she is not going to let that go. She has she does have other riders here on course. Teammate Aaron doesn't have Timothy Tremont, who she's been working with on the Sarcastic Sloth, Pink Sloths, but she doesn't necessarily need a teammate on this if she counters the moves that happen off the front. But Aaron here on the front, he and Jennifer are teammates. They can work together. Aaron's on the front, so I believe they're gearing up for a move. What's going to happen? 0.7. These guys wrote the book on these low skill events and timing the comeback kid. But Nigel is not going to let Aaron get off the front. He's going to have to make a major effort. Anyone here is going to have to make a major effort here to get off the front. 0.5 kilometers to go. This is when it gets serious. Luis says, go Daniel. Crucible says, go Kayla. So we have some people cheering for you. Thank you for cheering on our racers here. 0.3 kilometers to go. Nigel on the front, 592 equalized watts. Jennifer, Kayla right there next to him. Jennifer also there. Aaron there. 0.2 kilometers to go. Digging up here, 442. Nigel, is it going to be Nigel? Is it going to be Jennifer? Kayla bounces in here, comes through the draft, and she comes around, but is it going to stick in front? She's in the front, but Nigel might still be able to come around. Nigel does come through a little early on Kayla. Nigel, Kayla, Jennifer, Aaron, and that's how it goes. Nigel on top. Yes, he does me the move there. Yes, those are the celebration moves that Nigel is known for. Kayla, super respectable second place. Here is the replay that you are seeing. Daniel on the rollers here. He's just finishing the race here. So incredibly impressive here. Shout out to Daniel. Luis there is cheering you on. CVR World Cup says, congrats to Nigel and Kayla. And Crucial Bowl says, so close. You are right about that here. So at the top there, Nigel, let's check in with Nigel. Feeling pretty good about that win. Oh, I do not have your audio at the moment. So here is the replay side by side. Nigel and Kayla in the final stretches. It came down at 0.4 kilometers to go. And this was the effort here. Kayla sat in, benefited from the draft, bided her time. Just at the end at about 0.3, she comes up out of the saddle. She puts in a dig. Nigel is matching her move, but staying in the draft. And then he can come around that final corner. He stays in her draft. Kayla's pushing, thinking she has it because she's in the lead. And then Nigel puts that last little punch down into the corner, accelerates through Kayla, and ends up taking it on the line here. So that was the finish there, the replay, the celebration move by Nigel. It didn't seem like we had his audio. Nigel, do we have you now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that went pretty well. I tried throwing a few dummy sprints earlier on to try and get them to use their power up. I don't know if they did or not. It worked quite well going sort of early at the end, and then Kayla caught up, and then I got her draft, so pretty well timed.
Oh, well, that was pretty amazing effort there. I saw those little digs there, and well done to you. And coming into the next race on Dark Matter, I want to welcome the viewers here on Mixer. If you're tuning in and you're watching Physical Esports, you just saw Nigel Doyle take the win on Aquavello. Let's check in with Kayla Laguna. Kayla, second place coming into this next race. How are you feeling on this course?
Oh, yeah. Well, the wind is going to be a little bit tough. I mean, you can always feel that in the trainer. We got 4 kph going on, so going to try to utilize the draft as much as I can. But, yeah, no, congrats to Nigel on that win. Great timing with the sprint and everything. Was trying to keep up, but he got me at that last point. So congrats to him, but going to have to bring it this one because, I want the win on this Omnium, so hopefully we can make this happen. So I'm going to give it everything I got.
You heard it there. Kayla wants the win on this Omnium. You're watching CVRcade World Cup Racing, the run-up to the World Cup. We gave $25,000 to these racers who won it, who earned it in the pen over the course of the Omnium. And we are warming up on Dark Matter Velo. We've got about 3 minutes to the race. So if you're just tuning in, we've got 3 minutes and it's off to the races. These riders, let's check in with Jennifer. She's on her bike. She's warming up, getting ready. She just took 3rd place here. Jennifer, my goodness, you said, I'm just going to come and I'm going to, maybe just ride a little bit. 3rd place. How is that competitive spirit? I think you have to give a little push in this next race now.
It's going to be a curve. Like, you're going to see me do all right, and then Summit Islands will come and everything will go downhill. Fear not.
Fear not. Hey, we have some new folks joining us in the chat. Crucial Bowl says Kayla will win it. She manifested it. Plum Average says, what up with you? Welcome to the broadcast. Jennifer, good luck to you out on course. This is Dark Matter Spire. Quantum Shift, uncrashable, 2 weightlifted, win at your back. What do you think? What's the strategy?
Not to crash in the first corner like our team did this morning.
That was a valiant effort, though. That was a valiant effort. A nice idea to try to get away early. So we won't do that again. Well, good luck to you, Jennifer. I also saw Jeff Rooney out on course. Jeff, welcome to the broadcast. Repping Team Velocity. Feeling good about this race. 5 laps on Dark Matter Spire. This is going to be a long race, and this really beat up the legs of the racers in the earlier Omniums.
Yeah, well, it's hoping I've got slightly fresher legs, but then again, the others are a bit warmed up. I missed the first race. So we'll see what happens. We can go one way or the other, can't it? So it's all in good fun.
All in good fun. Now, you do have Nigel in there to work with. He is sitting on the top of the leaderboard. Are you guys in conversation in the chat, strategizing on how you can maximize Team Velocity's points?
It was something like just go hard, go hard. I think he wants me to give him a tow up the hill.
Yeah, don't get dropped on the climb. That's the key to it. Well, 1 minute, I'll let you get warmed up. Our next race is just 60 seconds out. Hey, B2B Scorpion King, welcome. I think I'm reading that right. I don't have my readers on, but wait, I do have about 5 pairs of glasses here. Homeward Frame says, get it, Jennifer. So keep it coming in the chat. I'll try to bring it into the broadcast. And remember, I'm watching the racing. All of these racers are racing physically. They're on their bikes. Their legs are driving power to the pedals. The power is being communicated to the game, and they are moving through the virtual world. There is wind on course, so when they have a headwind, it slows them down. It's like pushing them back. They can tuck behind one another and pick up the draft. Just like if you're driving down the car and you stick your hand out the window and you feel that wind on you, they feel that virtual wind in the game by moving through the space. They also feel the wind out on course of the environment. So they need to position their avatars in the right place to maximize the draft, to be efficient, to be able to save some energy. Because on this 5-lap race, you know they're going to need it. 3, 2, 1, up out of the saddle there with Nigel Doyle, Team Velocity rider, is taking it out of the gate. But Jennifer on the front here, the first 10 seconds of this race, quantum shift is on. But you can see now they are not transparent anymore. And that means that these racers, if they bump into each other, if they overdrive the power, they're going to bump into the wheel in front of them and it's going to slow them down. Now, what's different between this race, if you've been tuned in, this race, the racers can crash. So if they execute a lane change and they slide into another racer, they will crash their bike. And a bike crash costs about, 8 seconds to get back up to speed. And on this course, if they're on the hill, they could be gone. So you do not want to lose connection. You want to be able to tuck in the draft. But as these racers move to the inside lanes, they're really taking some chances there. Frank comes around, but whoa, wait a minute. Someone didn't see Frank coming. It was Jeff Rooney. Didn't see Frank coming and was able to, Frank was able to use his power, but did slow Frank down, but he crashed in the process. Whoa, but Frank adds those power-ups, goes back up, wind at his back, cutting through, saying, come follow Jennifer. Jennifer and Frank are teammates, and Nigel's at the front, but Jennifer says, okay, I'm going to add some power, 700 equalized watts. This is what I'm talking about, Jennifer. This is exactly what I'm talking about. I know you can't not try your best. This is not a fitness ride for you. This is a race, my friend. Go get it, Jennifer. What is this? This is actually pretty cool. Hey, Mr. Z. This is CVRcade World Cup. CVRcade.com is the game. Free to play. Download it. You can play it on your keyboard, but these racers are playing it physically on their bikes. Their bikes are driving power that, whoa, wipeout. Frank dumps it. I'm not sure what happens. Jennifer does a little check there. You can see Nigel celebrating on screen. Again, crashes happen when you change lanes into other riders, when you are exceeding a corner speed. And we just saw Frank, but he was able to get Jennifer up the hill here and has a 2-second gap on Kayla. But Kayla is the queen of shutting down the gap. She's an absolute machine. Thank you all for joining us. If you're just joining us to the broadcast, this is CVRcade World Cup Racing Physical Esports on board with Kayla Laguna chasing down the front 2 riders, Nigel Doyle, Team Velocity, Jennifer Garcia. She is of Team, we're calling it Sarcastic Pink Sloth right now. It's a combination of names, but you can see Kayla is absolutely destroying it here, trying to get back. Now, when you look at the nearby riders list, which is down on the sides of the screens here, you can see what these racers are doing in terms of watts. You can see what they're doing in terms of heart rate. Their heart rates are all normalized. So if you were to go outside and run on a track as fast as you can and your heart is pounding out of your chest, it's the highest it's ever been or ever can go, that's your max heart rate. The game is recording your heart rate because all of these racers are wearing heart rate monitors. So the physiological effects of the effort, of their physical effort, is being translated into the game. The curves are being normalized. So if Kayla's at 188 and Nigel's at 188, the physiological effects of their effort is the same. So you can use that as a gauge to know how much strength is, and you start to learn what riders can stay at what heart rate for how long. Kayla drops a power up here. This is one of the supers. There are quantum shift, uncrashable, 2 weight lifted and 2 wind at your back. The way these work is quantum shift allows you to phase through other riders. Uncrashable lets you to come cruising through a corner at top speed. And if you exceed the corner speed, you can go through the corner if you're using that super. A weight lifted makes you 30 kilograms lighter, so you can accelerate faster or take it up the hill faster. And wind at your back is exactly that, a nice little big push on the back here. But Jennifer on the front, Nigel taking the draft here. Nigel has been just comfortable sitting in, but yet his heart rate is a little bit higher than Jennifer's, just by a couple beats. So that's it. So this is on Xbox, B2B Scorpion King. It's coming to Xbox, yes, and we are looking for beta testers. So, it does look like CVRcade World Cup, CVR World Cup did answer you on that. If you like what you're seeing, if you have questions about the gameplay, you have questions about the racers, please chime into the chat and I'll do my best to answer it. Shout out here to Nigel and Jennifer, absolutely laying it down on the front. Kayla's within 3 seconds here, coming up on that climb. You can see at the bottom of the screen there, right under the map profile, is both the map shape and as well as the elevation profile. So you can see on those laps, on those turns, there's one big bump in the middle, which is a climb. The racers feel that climb in their legs. So not only are they communicating power to the game, the track profile is communicating resistance to their bike. So it feels like you are riding a bike. You are riding a bike, but you feel the track. You feel the environment. I'm in. I got a bike. Yes, you are in. Fantastic. You've got to do this. Hello, Flacaxo. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. Welcome to the broadcast. This is so much fun. The racing is amazing. One thing that if you are new to this racing that's important to understand is that all of these racers, Jennifer and Nigel, have been racing in the game, and the game is recording their efforts. They know what is Nigel's best effort over a number of durations. They know Jennifer's best effort over a number of durations, and the equalization engine that's baked into the game allows these racers to ride head to head, because out on the road, they might have differences that would not allow them to race competitively. So we're talking about a level playing field. What makes the difference is skill, is knowing the tracks, and also fitness comes into play, because there's only so many times someone like Nigel can hammer up a hill and you can get them. So as your fitness level improves, the game is keeping track of that. So you're constantly always working to improve yourself and up your game, and you always have competition in the pen. There is Kayla Laguna. Now, Kayla is an awesome story. Kayla is one of the earliest beta testers on the platform. Kayla, her story, it's out there. I think she'd be okay with me to share it. Her fitness has gone through the roof and she's become a powerhouse, but in the process, she's also lost 40 pounds. And this is not about weight loss. This is about someone finding her fitness, finding passion, and in the process, improving her health. It's so inspiring. Kayla is an inspiring racer, a smart racer, and look at her. She is not giving up. She's just 5 seconds back from Jennifer and Nigel. It does look like Frank is making his way back here side by side with Jennifer and Kayla, two fierce riders here, not on the same team tonight, I don't think, because I think Jennifer is racing for the Sloths, but I could be wrong. They could be coordinating. Jennifer used to be on the CVRcade roster, but I think she's forming in an alliance. There's a lot of roster changes right now going on, because the roster changes are a result of next week we're starting the team league. The team dynamics in CVRcade are bananas, because there are different moves you can do. You can draft with your riders. You can coordinate your attacks. As you saw earlier, Frank now making a connection with Nigel and Jennifer. Frank is on a keyboard. I was thinking he was physical, but he just is using his quantum shift to come through Jennifer with his razor's edge and saying, okay, Jennifer, I'm going to come through, grab my wheel, pull, and I'll pull you up the thing. Kayla uses her, whoa, Jennifer just slingshots out to the right is that a brake check by Frank? Was he giving me a display? I can't tell. Did Frank brake check Nigel? That would not be a surprise here. If anyone has a long-term memory, it is Frank. He has a bank of these racers here, putting Nigel on his heels. I love having these racers on stream. Oh my goodness. Hey, pretty boy Trey, what are you watching? You are watching CVRcade World Cup Racing, physical esports. These riders are on their bikes, their pedals, they're driving power on their pedals. Their power is communicated to the game, and that's communicated into speed of their avatar. They can turn, steer, change lane positions. This particular course does not have obstacles, but it does have max corner speeds. It has a climb. time, the track is communicating back to the bike. So when they go up a hill, that bumpy thing you see at the bottom, that's the track profile. These racers have to know the track. They have to know the power-ups at play. They have to use, it's like a poker game. When do I use my super? When do I match? What are the speed differentials? How am I going to catch the racer in front of me? There are 4 races in this Omnium. We race Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 3 Omniums each of those days. And what we see here, these racers get better and better. Each of the race in the Omnium speaks to a different skill. It speaks to a different type of rider here. On board here with Jeff Rooney, who is close in on Frank, needs to watch Frank on the block here, because what can happen here is Frank is creating some mischief in the game here. And that's fun to see. He's trying to get in front of Jeff, and Jeff is saying, "Oh, no, you don't, Frank." And he knows better than to take Frank's wheel at this time, and he has to be careful not to change the lanes, but Frank there on the inside there. So Frank and Jeff side by side. Frank is rooting for Jennifer. He's going to do what he can in the back here, but I think he's going up to try to help Jennifer at the front. Kayla did slip back a little bit here, trying to get back to Jeff's wheel. Kayla can see him up front a little bit. Frank might just slow down a little bit, try to help Kayla, to try to get Kayla past Jeff so that Kayla can get some more points. Because in a team situation, it's not just about Jennifer winning. If Jennifer and Kayla are on the same team tonight, which I'm not sure, they might be working together. They are former teammates. Sometimes you find that the teammates in one race might not be the same from race to race, or who your alliances can change over time. So, hey, yes, please hit the follow button. Yes, cool, Gamer Master. Thank you for joining the broadcast. If you like what you're seeing, please do follow. Please join us in the broadcast. Cheer for your favorite racers. These guys are racing their brains out, giving such a great show. They're in-game audio, chatting to each other, talking about strategy, watching what other riders do. Jennifer and Nigel both use their weight lifted there on this climb. Again, the weight lifted super, what that does is it makes you lighter so you can climb faster. It's like, I don't have to carry this big bag of rocks up the climb, so I'm going to move faster. So what the racers are doing, Jennifer and Nigel right now are looking at the speed differential and trying to keep Jeff back. And Frank is also probably trying to keep Jeff back, but he also wants to help Kayla come up front. Close to Kayla is Homer as well. Here's Jeff. You can see the leaderboard drop down. Jennifer on the top here, Nigel and Kayla, and then Homer in 4th. So right now, anything can happen. Nigel digging in, trying to not let Jennifer get any more seconds on him. This is what happens on Dark Matter Spire. We saw it earlier in the racing where we saw the racers, they would open up a gap on the climb, and then you come to the straightaway at the top of the climb, it flattens out for a little bit before the descent happens, and you can make the mistake of thinking like, oh, whew, the climb's over, but you absolutely have to keep digging, because that racer in front of you, crested before you, is getting up to speed faster than you and can open up the gap if they launch in a sprint at the top of the climb. So anyway, we have a Homeward Frame, great community. Thank you so much. Thanks. They're tired. Yes, they are, Pretty Boy Trey. These guys, and they still have 2 more races. And the hardest race tonight you need to stick around for, Summit Island. That race is designed by one of our community members, who we race that course in regular rotation, and Summit Island has a 10 or 11% grade at the top spot there. So can you quit in mid-game? Team Kayla out terror. Thank you. Yay. So we've got some love for you, Kayla. Don't give up. She's in 3rd place in the Omnium. She never gives up. She always fights to the end. And it says, can you quit mid-game? Well, you can, but no one really does. That's the thing about this. You can see Jennifer there in the top spot. I think right now she found herself in the front end of the first race. In our pre-race warm-up, she raced an earlier Omnium today with her teammate. She's coming in not with fresh legs, but you wouldn't know it by the way that she's racing. She's just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I will tell you, it is awesome to watch here. So as Jennifer comes around, I think she has one lap left with 2.2 kilometers to go for Jennifer here. Nigel comes around the front. Now, this is where Jennifer has done so much work. She has put Nigel on his heels. She had opened up a gap, made Nigel respond. Did she soften his legs enough so that he will not get away? 376 equalized watts from Nigel. Jennifer is right there matching it. They're both into the wind. She needs to close that gap down to try to conserve. So a little punch from Jennifer to tuck in behind Nigel will help her when it comes to the climb. But Nigel is not having it. Nigel is just drilling it on the front. 400 equalized watts, 190 on his heart rate. Homeward Frame says, getting better and better, Jennifer. Yes, she is. Flaxo, Jennifer, go, with 1,000 zeros and exclamation points and a million emojis with smiley faces and kisses and hearts. So Flacaxco is a big fan, Jennifer. Looks like that's helping. You're helping her, chat. She just closed the gap down. She's in the draft of Nigel's wheel. That cheering is doing it for her. Is this fit? These riders are getting fitter all the time. The thing about this game is that you can come into the game and it doesn't matter your fitness level, you can still be competitive. And as you get fitter, the game recognizes your improvement, and you continually have your curve adjusted so that you can race against each other. So here we are, Jeff on board with Jeff, Team Velocity Rider, has his teammate Nigel in the front here. Also, Jeff has been racing in the earlier previous CVR World Cup zones in the Omniums that awarded $25,000 over the course of 10 weeks this fall. So we're going to do it all again. Another prize purse is on its way. We're doing some run-up races for teams next week. Okay, Nigel does drop his corner caper. So what that means is that Nigel will not slide out of the corner. 400 equalized watts here, 0.6 kilometers to go, just 6 seconds in front of Jennifer. Jennifer just used her super. She can see Nigel up in the distance. Here they are side by side here. Jennifer, 4 seconds now back into that final corner. I think she still has a corner caper. She's softening a little bit here. You can see Kayla there in the mix. Okay, now she adds that power up, the wind at her back. Jennifer is accelerating here. I think she's timing this. She might have Coach Frank Garcia in her ear telling her when to do the power-ups, when to close it down. 3 seconds to Nigel. She might run out of road. Kayla is still chasing on the back, but it's Nigel on the front. Jennifer on his heels, and it will be Nigel that takes the win, and it will be Jennifer that comes in second here. We are on board with Jeff, and now we're back with Nigel. I'm going to give you 10 seconds or so, Nigel, to catch your breath on this. I am too quick to go to the interviews. I realize I just I want to hear the reaction, but here is the replay. It was an absolute slugfest between Jennifer and Nigel from the beginning of the race. Frank got into the mix, tried to mess it up a little bit, tried to mess with the other riders, gave Jennifer a pull on the first climb, but he did have a crash, was able to come back. Frank on keyboard, having a lot of fun in the game here. You can see Kayla there at the end, there wipes the sweat from her face there, feeling the heat, and both of these racers, fierce racers. We've got some more shout outs happening on the thing. Flacasco, I keep saying it wrong. I'm so sorry. Jennifer, Iron King, Iron Triple X. What's the World Cup symbol with Frank all about? Okay, so he is a World Cup racer. So he has the badge because he is a World Cup racer. I think right now I don't see any of the other badges. CVRcade World Cup has had some live events. We've had anyone who's participated and been in the racing gets a badge. So can you inform me what great boy, did I miss it here? This is CVRcade World Cup Racing. Then what's the point of using all your energy when I can go to the waiting room? I'm not sure I understand that. There's right now these other racers are warming up on Barnyard Velo. This is one of the newer tracks. I can see Jeff here warming up. Jeff, are you ready for Barnyard Velo? Have you prepared?
I've practiced it, but not with this many riders. So it'll be interesting. I saw quickly the
Interesting is
replay
true.
from the earlier zones, and that was quite brutal.
Well, you're definitely coming into this race after Dark Matter Spire, and the obstacles with these high skill events. What's the general approach with these high skill events with the obstacles?
Not to get stuck behind the bots. Try and get a bit of clear lane and try and be with it enough to watch what's going on in front of you. Easier said than done, though.
Yes, we did see absolute carnage in the earlier zones. Well, good luck to you, Jeff. I think Nigel may have caught his breath here. Nigel, are you able to talk? There you are. I didn't give you any time after the first race. I figured I'd give you a minute or so.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Top of the leaderboard. Jennifer pulled a lot of punches. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, absolutely stuffed. I should have, I saw Frank there. I thought he was going to go and let Jennifer draft behind him. I should have been aware he was going to put a block on me. I should have been ready to drop a quantum shift. So pleased that I got back up and got through for the win.
And coming into this Barnyard Velo, carnage in the earlier Omniums, what's your approach?
Don't crash.
That's a good one.
Frank.
That's a great point. All right, with 2 minutes to go here, I think we'll check in with Jennifer, who right now is sitting on the leaderboard just a little bit behind you in second place here. Jennifer, Nigel sitting on top, 90 points, you with 75, Kayla with 60. I'm just going to see you're going to go easy tonight. What is going on? You're on fire, girl.
I'm telling you, it's a curve. I actually just had a technical difficulty at the end there. My half of the bolt came out and half of my trainer was like sideways, the roller part. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Because it felt really weird. I looked at the back of my bike and I was like, oh, the screw is missing. So I just put that back in. I don't know if it's gonna hold because I didn't have a screwdriver on me. But it's been an interesting night.
Well, not everybody has the tool belt when they're sitting on their bikes with their their Leatherman tool, multi-tool. But kudos to you for breaking out the mechanics wrench and wrenching on your bike mid-race. That is the spirit. You make your father proud. You make all of us cyclists proud to with your do-it-yourself spirit there, not giving up on the race. Nigel really pushed you pretty hard there. You guys were killing each other.
That was an amazing race by him. Really proud. He deserved that win. I was hoping we would draft a bit more, but he did the smart thing because he knows I have less endurance and didn't let that happen. So it was well done by him.
Well, Barnyard Velo starts in 1 minute. I'll let you get back into the headsets here. You do have teammates out on course here with Aaron in the race. You have teammates. You have Frank in your ear. We've got 2 velocity riders here with Nigel and Jeff here. Maybe this is not a race you can work together. This is a race you need to just stay out of each other's way. So when I've raced side by side with a racer on my team in a race with obstacles, every move left and right needs to be communicated if you can even see what is going on. Barnyard Velo, the only supers that are available are 2 quantum shifts. So if you find yourself behind a racer, you can quantum shift through them, whether it's a racer or one of the bots out on course. Lapped riders are also transparent, keeping track of what's a lapped rider, what isn't. 10 seconds to go. But if you hit a hay bale, even with quantum shift, you're going down. And if they go down, you will see that expressed with an exclamation point, and that will be a crash here. So up, Jeff, in the front here with Nigel, Frank, Jennifer, Jeff, and Nigel. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. It's going to be tricky. Someone's going down, and it was Nigel. Got slammed into the hay bale. Jeff on the front here, staying super focused, making sure he has the front lane. Now, with these high skill events where you have obstacles, you have tight corners, you have other riders out on course, boom! Oh, that's a lapped rider. He didn't get slowed down. Now, if that wasn't a lapped rider, he would have smashed right into the back and slowed down. But with this track, it's better to be in front and have people responding to you than it is to get caught in the back and then have to react, and then you make a mistake. So now these racers this is one of our new, and Jeff goes down. Rats, Jeff, come up. You got this. Out of the saddle. Out you go. Other people will certainly crash. Never say die. This is one of those crazy tracks that you're coming around the corner. And if you don't know the corners, Jennifer slid out. Don't know the corner speeds, or you don't anticipate the hay bales. Inadvertent respawn, brakes on Homer. But that is the brakes there. Frank on the front, Jeff fighting his way back. Frank does go down. That leaves Aaron in the front position. Aaron also on our stream tonight with Jennifer, teammates. They always are working together. Now, I don't know if Aaron is making the move to Sarcastic Sloth or if he's staying with CVRcade. So that'll be a very interesting thing. He is wearing the CVRcade kit. So we're going to say for tonight, he's racing for CVRcade, but that can change. There he is on screen, matching his kit in the race when he's on the front. Now, Jennifer is also wearing her CVRcade World Cup, so they are riding together. It's a little harder to see their kits when they are in the fantasy theme. There are 3 themes in CVRcade: mountain bike, road bike, and fantasy. So Dark Matter Spire was a fantasy theme. This is one of our mountain bike courses. The wheels are a little fatter, the handlebars are a little bit different. So this course here, 1.5 kilometers to go. So let's see, can we see Kayla? Pretty boy Trey wants to see Kayla. Give Jennifer a shout out. I'm sorry, I'm delayed on that. Jennifer, shout out from Flacaxo. I'm having a hard time. And then Waxy's Quill 187. Hi, welcome to the broadcast. Give Jennifer a shout out, please. I'm going to give her 3 shouts outs. 3 shout outs for Jennifer from Flacaxo, and lots of love emojis. Big super fan there. Side by side teammates. Both of them have the sharp CVRcade kit on. Their kits in the game are matching the skins in the game. These racers have different teams, different allegiances, but tonight they're racing together. They've been racing together in the fall league with Jennifer working a little bit with Timothy Termont, one of the top racers who just really made an upsetting move or a move that was very well talked about, because he left the top team Cycling Hub to start his own team. And it does look like Jennifer is going to begin working with Timothy, but tonight wearing the green and black with pride, with Aaron on the front, Frank in second, Jennifer in third. This could be a 1-2-3 sweep, but Frank does go down. Commentator's curse, man. I'm sorry about that. If you look on the right-hand side on the nearby riders list, you can see the crashes. So even if they do finish in this position with Aaron, Jennifer, and then Homer has made his way back up to Jennifer, Nigel will be on top of the leaderboard, Jennifer in second, Homer in third, and Kayla in fourth. Flacaxo says, yeah, and here they go. All right, yeah, they maybe they like each other. I have no idea. 0.4 kilometers to go. Aaron, they're friends, they're teammates. They're going to take the top 2 spots if there are no mistakes here. Barnyard Velo, CVRcade.com. If you like what you're seeing, please follow us, join us in the broadcast, cheer for your favorite racer. Let us know what you think. Ask your questions. We'll do our best to answer it. And there is Aaron, calm, cool, and collected, going to come across the line in first place here. One more lap to go for Aaron. No, second lap. Oh, he's going to come in second place. Oh, I see. Nope. Okay, I can't understand. I'm doing a bad job of reading the chat and reading the signs here. But Jennifer is just a few seconds back. I think Aaron was saying, "Hey, Jennifer, come on, come get some extra points. Come around me, and take those extra points and try to give yourself." There he goes. He moves over. That's what he was trying to say. He's going to take second and let Jennifer take first. Now, he could have had that win. They are teammates, but he knows Jennifer's at the top of the leaderboard. If she can get more points on this high skill course, she can put a gap on Nigel and overtake him on the leaderboard. Nigel is coming back out of the line here. So that point differential, those extra points multiplier on this gave her some extra points. What am I talking about, you might ask? And here's Kayla on screen. There you go. Each of these races have different multipliers depending on the complexity and the length. Now, you saw Aqua Velo with no crashing. You saw Dark Matter Velo with lots of power-ups in a high bumpy profile course. And now you saw Barnyard Velo, which has a highly technical course here. This is the replay here. Aaron trying to communicate to his teammate that he's going to take second so Jennifer can take first so she can get the max points, calling to Jennifer to come up and she took the cue and she knows that that's what she knew here, and she did take the points. So if you are just joining the race here, let us know what you think. And Jennifer, if you have a moment for an interview, tell me what you're thinking here. You are sitting on top of the leaderboard going into Summit Island.
I told you, and I'm standing by it. The curve. This is it. This is my worst map. I really am excited, and if this was any other map on the end, I think I would be a lot more excited. Not to say that I'm not going to give it my all here now, but I'm sitting at top. But I came here to have fun, and I did better than I usually do, which maybe that's the secret. And thank you to Aaron. He definitely did not have to do that. So.
That's how teamwork works, and that's what's going to work for you guys in the World Cup in the team league. So congratulations. That's how it works. You have a ton of fans out here in chat. Jennifer Go.
Hi,
yeah, you have, let's see, we have a couple other folks in chat, but in Summit Islands, have you been on this course since it's been redecorated?
Yes, because I wrote it this morning, and it's absolutely beautiful. Water, whoever did that, props to you. It's cool to see like the contrast effect of what we were seeing before to what it is now. Obviously, the game has been getting better and better with every day and every week. And it's just an amazing thing to be a part of and see.
Well, good luck to you on this race. I'll let you get back to it. I'm going to check in with Aaron here, who did his job there. Aaron, well done. Nice teamwork. You've got Jennifer in the front. What are you going to do in this race to keep her there?
I don't know. I still don't feel very good. My head's been throbbing since the first race. So I'm just going to try to see if I can even keep up with anybody. But actually right now, I don't even know if I'm on a team. I haven't been asked to join any teams, and I don't know if CVR World Cup is even a team anymore. So right now I'm just kind of racing.
Oh my gosh, you just invited a bajillion emails and messages in Messenger for recruitment. You're going to have Ryan and Modi and all of the teams recruiting you now that you said you don't even know if you have a team. So be prepared.
I can pull people for the first race and then pull a little bit in the second race, and then I'm done for the rest. But it'll let everyone else get a little rest in the beginning and be fresh on the last ones.
Well, listen, you are a team player, and I love to see it. Let's check in. Good luck to you on this race. Let's check in with Nigel, who's sitting in second, who also has Jeff in the race to help him. Nigel, you are in second place. Jennifer has 135. You're at 128. How are your legs feeling coming into this race, Summit Island?
It's going to be hard. Yeah, I'll see how we go. I think we're all probably tired. 3 laps. Oh man. Whose idea was
It's
this?
always 1 lap too many, Nigel. That's on Summit Island. If it's 3 laps, it's 1 lap too many. And maybe it's 2 laps too many tonight.
That's right. Yeah, it's hard.
Well, I'm looking
We'll see
forward
how
to your celebration moves. You and Jeff can get coordinated on this race. I'm going to chip in here with the chat here. Teamwork is overrated, says Kuzul in the house. Pretty boy, I do like your boy Aaron. That's the question. Do you like your boy Aaron? Orderly Jaguar says Monka speed, Monka speed, Monka speed. I don't know what Monka speed means, but I'm reading that comment here. Go Aaron. Yeah, that worked in the last race here. CVR World Cup looks like blue pie hype. Yeah, Aaron could be bluffing Homeward Frame. You know, he really could be. Orderly Jaguar gives a little hearty har in the house. I can ride a tricycle. Hey, that's fine. Got a power meter on it. That would be fun. Put your hands up. Jeff Rooney, how are you going to help Nigel? Just over a minute to go.
Oh, first thing I need to do is not crash at the start and be behind everybody. Frank was flying up. I didn't even see him coming until it was too late. So try and do better, I think. Fingers crossed.
Well, good luck to you. Summit Island starts in 50 seconds. Now, on this race, this track was designed by community member Ben Shulian. Ben designed this track in Track Builder, which is a part of the game. And this was recently redecorated. So the art team took the old graphics and that he used in Track Builder and gave it a fresh new look. And what you'll see is these racers that know this race cold, it's been in regular rotation, are getting different visual cues out on course here. You can see there Jeff coming up to the top. That's like an 8 or 9% grade. I think 10 at the very end there. And then he's got to start the race in just about 10 seconds here. So as these guys go back to the starting line in the gate, they start to spin up their wheels. 3, 2, 1 out of the gate here. They all need to get aligned here. And what happens, they come down the hill, the profile there in the bottom of your screen. You can see the profile here. It doesn't do justice to the steepness of the climb. Lots of twists and turns there. You can see in the map visual there. All of those corner speeds have max speed. So this is one that if a racer does slide out, does crash, it's very difficult to make up time. They come down this first corner. They're 68 kph, 67. Frank is going to hold. Whoa, that was, I think he must have slowed down just in time. So looking at the speeds, we know that all of these racers do their homework. They know the different speed. Frank pops a couple power-ups. Jeff responds, stays right side by side with Frank. Doesn't want to let him get away. 600 equalized watts. Then he pops the inertia, holding 48 kph on that little kicker here before he gets to the hill. Does he make a break? He gets 2 seconds on Jeff, who's up out of the saddle here. Again, Frank on keyboard, Jeff riding his bike. This is fun. Jeff and Frank are friends, but this is where they're going to duke it out on course here. Both Jeff and Frank need to watch their corner speeds, even though one's on a bike and one is on. Frank does crash down. Frank had a little bit too much corner speed and was not. You're not getting that same feeling in your legs. You're able to watch your speed, but you're not getting that same feeling in your legs. So it's really hard sometimes on a keyboard to be able to brake in time. And again, because the visual cues are different, the locations like, I'm going to brake at this rock, and then I'm going to do this accelerate. Here the visual cues are different. So sometimes the riders are making some mistakes on this track that they all know very well. But still, Jennifer on top. Jeff takes the front of the race here. He's got about 7 seconds on Homer. Nigel a little bit back from that. But Jennifer here is the headline here. She can see the riders up in front of her. She's not going to let them out of their sight. She puts a little dig on. She uses Razor's Edge. You can see that up ahead, Nigel has used Quantum Shift. This is inertia. This is the same thing that happened earlier. They used the inertia. The inertia will lock in the speed that you had when you pressed the power up. So if you are going too fast and exceeds the corner speed, you can't slow down. So it's kind of a dangerous power up, but that was well played. Nigel does drops the power up. The power up's in play on Summit Island, 1 inertia. So those once you're using them, you're 1 and done. 2 Razor's Edge and 2 weightlifted, 3 laps on this brutal course. This is where the climb comes in. Jeff up out of the saddle, absolutely hammering it. 630 equalized watts. Homer did overtake him. Nigel in front of him. Right now, there's just a couple seconds gap between each of these riders, all strung out. Homer on the front, Nigel in second, Jeff here in third. You can see the racers up the road. It's one of those things where that motivation, he can see his teammate Jeff trying to get to Nigel, trying to stay together here. And Nigel's saying, come on, man. You see that Jeff slid to the inside. He does shorten up the track, but he makes it a little bit steeper here. So on the inside corners here, it is a little bit steeper as any climb outside is, just the way that the corner is done. So Homeward Frame says, Kayla is so strong. How do they play with keyboard? Oh, I will answer that for you. Your left and right arrows move your avatar just like you do on the bike, and the down arrow will be your brake, and then the plus sign is how you add power, and the minus sign is how you back off power. So clickety click click click, and you can see in the list there, Homer is a physical rider at the front here. Nigel's a physical rider. You can see the ANT plus, and then when you look at Frank's name, you see a keyboard under his name, but he is using the left and the right arrows and and adding power as he goes. So there we are. We were on board with Jennifer, but Jeff here back on board with Jeff. Up ahead, it does look like Nigel is using a power up. Jeff trying to get to him about 6 seconds back here. Nigel is on the chase here. If Nigel can finish in front of Jennifer, if Jennifer doesn't close down that gap, she slides back to second place, completely respectable. This is such a stacked field. Homer moves into third on the Omnium if he finishes in that position, that first position. I think if he drops down, he would be taking all 75 points if he does take this Omnium. So really close between Jennifer and Homer. So Frank does have a crash. Jennifer overtakes Frank. I think they might have been trying to work together, but Nigel is just about 13 seconds back from Homer. So Nigel is sitting at the top. He doesn't have to keep chasing Homer. He wants to keep racing, but he doesn't want Jennifer to catch him either, because Jennifer's in second place. So he needs to keep that gap far enough back so that Jennifer doesn't have a chance of closing it. Nigel has Jeff in the race as well. So 2 riders working together to hold Jennifer off, but Frank is still in there, so Frank can come back on the keyboard and try to pull Jennifer up with a combination of power-ups. It's amazing what these racers can do. So depending on what Jennifer has in her back pocket, does she have an ace? Can she play the combination? We see these racers getting smarter and smarter with their supers where they like, boom, they hit a Razor's Edge, boom, they hit a weightlifted, boom, they hit inertia. Now we do see here that some racers have already used their inertia. You can see Jeff is currently using his inertia here. This is where Vibeke used it, and that's exactly where Vibeke crashed on the earlier one. Too much corner into the speed in the corner, Jeff. Oh, that's a bummer. That one hurts. Yep, I've done it exactly in that same place. You think you have enough, and you run out of road and you slide. That's all right, Jeff. You're still got the jump on Jennifer. You're not going to be able to make it, I don't think, back up to Nigel unless you put in a monster effort here. You can. 10 seconds to go, 2.6 kilometers. I'm not going to say you can't. You just stay in front of Jennifer, keep those points away from Jennifer to protect Nigel in the front. But Homer, what do we say about Homer? Homer is in my Rise and Rip recovery and onboarding ride week after week after week. So strong. And always fun to have on course here. And if you are looking to ride, you can join me. Even download the game tonight. Join the Rise and Rip class tomorrow. It's going to be onboarding and recovery. There is some instructions on how to do it on CVRcade riders, and then you can just ride with us, and you can learn about the UI. You can meet some of the community members. You can ask questions. But that is a class that's open for all. The game is free to play, free to download. Join us if you can. Let's go. Jennifer says Atomic Froster. And let's see. So these guys are on bikes, actually feel real world changes on their own bike. Yes, they do. So if you're just watching here, they're riding their bikes. The bikes are the power that they're putting on the pedal gets translated to speed in the game. Their avatars are on virtual tracks. When they're climbing up a hill, they feel the resistance. You can see Jennifer here slowing down that cadence here. Her speed is dropping down, and that's because she's on a climb here. Side by side here, Nigel is on the top part. He's going back down, so he's his speed is 52 kph, while Jeff's is 25 because Jeff is still on the climb. Jennifer is still on the climb here. So this is where racers get away. This is how the gaps open up on Summit Island while someone is still climbing. She's getting a little bit of a lift there from Frank, helping her up the hill. Moral support, giving her something to chase here, saying, come on, Jennifer. But Nigel is still putting down the effort on the front, just drops his power up the razor's edge, it looks like, and he is off and on he goes. Jeff did come back from that crash, is digging in 300 equalized watts, 173 on his heart rate there. Cannot see the riders out in the distance anymore. So for him, it's all about protecting his position and not letting anyone else overtake his position and protecting the points. Up out of the saddle, here is the helicopter view of Jeff, the Team Velocity rider. And again, next week, we start the team league. So these racers work together. Come on, Jennifer. Go, 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 Jennifer. Go, Kayla. Crucial Bowl says, Orderly Jaguar, Peppity. Let's go, Jeff. Let's go, Jeff. And then great game topic. Keep grinding, devs. Oh, thank you so much, Jubeo. This is it is in open beta now. Download the game, join us in the game. You can play on your keyboard, get a sense of it. But joining on a bike is lots of fun. These racers are getting fitter all the time. The game is remembering. Jennifer does go down. I see further on down. They get fitter all the time. And the game is recording your efforts, so these racers can all compete on a level playing field. So, you don't have to come into the game like monster cyclists, although we have monster cyclists in here that have been racing for years and years and years. And then you have ones that are new to the game. And Kayla is a perfect example of that. She's new to cycling in the last year. And, she was an athlete in other sports and softball and in other sports. And she's an absolute beast, and her fitness level has gone up and up and up. So you don't need to do that. So Homer's about to come across the line, 0.2 kilometers. He just dropped the razor's edge. Go, Homer, go. We're going to talk about this race on Rise and Rip tomorrow. We're going to talk about classes on Rise and Rip tomorrow. Rise and Rip in the game. If anyone wants to join us, we have a great time. Nigel is someone that I ride with a couple times a week, and we have lots of fun talking about donuts and snacks and former life jobs and just all kinds of fun things. So it's nice to see him. I think he has like 100,000 miles. He crossed the mark. He does like 20,000 miles a year. Hardcore cyclist usually joins us in the stream. And here comes Nigel finishing his race here, just coming on these final bends. This is when you're like, one lap too many, right, Nigel? Just one lap too many. Grunted out. Completely respectable move. Such a great effort. Going to be taking that top step today on the podium representing Team Velocity. It's no secret that I am a Team Velocity rider, so I will remain objective and still congratulate you. You're repping Velocity. We love to see it. You're doing office. How is the resistance standardized? The resistance is equalization. It's different than the resistance being standardized. The game is recording everybody's power over different durations, and they're normalized kind of like my best effort is 100% of my best effort is 100% of your best effort, and over the different durations, and the curves are normalized. The road drives resistance to the bike, so it feels like a hill outside grade, feels like a grade on your bike. Jeff here finishing up his race with a weight lifted power up. Really smart time to use it. Give him a little bit more go. You drop a box of rocks on the way, makes you a little bit lighter, and up the climb you go. So hello chat. Hello. Guys can give it a try here. Some more folks joining the chat. If you like the CVRcade racing, if you like the World Cup racing, join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Hit the follow button. I was having a hard time. Hit the follow button and join us in every broadcast. Right now on board with Jennifer, who has just been an absolute beast in this race tonight. She joined the race in the pre-race interview and she said, you know, I raced earlier today. It's my second race, but I got to kind of get some, a couple races in my couple omniums. So she's already been an hour earlier. This is her second hour of racing. Super strong, working on her endurance, showing what she's made of here. Going to come across the line, take second for the omnium of the night for an effort that she thought she wasn't going to bring, but she's such a competitor, so fierce, will not ever let go of the win there. So let go of it. So Kayla here up out of the saddle, also finishing for the night in fourth place behind Homer. Homer did take the top spot on this race, but for the Omnium, it looks like he's going to be taking fourth position here. Let's see here. No points for commentating. No, Crucible, I don't get any points for commentating. But I did swallow a bug or something earlier, so I apologize for the hoarse voice here. Does Jennifer have Instagram? Atomic C Froster wants to know. I'm sure she probably does. Who doesn't these days? But I don't know her handle, so we'll find that out for you. Crucible, LOL. No points for commenting. I read that one. Thank you so much for joining us in the broadcast. This is Physical Esports. This is CVRcade Racing. Let's check in with Nigel, who took the night as Jennifer comes across the line here. Nigel, talk to me a little bit about tonight.
I don't have Instagram.
Yes, Crucible wants to know if you have Instagram. He didn't ask her. She didn't ask him. Okay.
Well, I'm sort of, I'm old enough to be Jennifer's father. Well, I'm probably older than Frank. I've got a daughter the same age as Jennifer, so us oldies, I don't think we do Instagram, do we?
Well, I mean, you make a great point, though, regardless of whether you're on Instagram or not. The level playing field, racers of all ages and abilities racing together. You guys are trading punches.
Yeah, I mean, I'm twice the age of Kayla and Jennifer, but we're all, competing against each other equally, and congratulations to Jennifer for pushing me so hard. Man, gosh, I had to work hard. But I want to know what Homer eats for breakfast. He must eat rocket fuel or uranium for breakfast. God, he's fast.
He was on fire. He knows how to bring it to the races. Well, congratulations on that win tonight, Nigel. And Crucible, I know you didn't ask about Instagram. I see that now. I was just making a joke because we went to Nigel. People were asking about Jennifer's and he was making a little chuckle. So we're just rolling with some of the jokes here. So we are going to check in now with Jennifer. Jennifer, congratulations on the second step tonight. Lots of screaming fans. And well done to you.
Yeah, and to everyone, my Instagram is at second place.
At second place. Soon to be first, though. Top step is coming for you, my friend. I know it here. Coming into this next Omnium with a team approach, how are you approaching it?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's interesting because I find myself working with different teams at different times, even with the team switch. So now that it's solidified to just be team racing, I think I'm going to actually have to hone it in a little bit. I think it's going to be a really different dynamic, and I think it's going to be a really positive one. What makes the game fun is working with other people, and so I think the best thing that CVR could do is make it the team races in the World Cup. So I'm very excited.
Well, congratulations to you on a great night. And Crucible, don't even worry about it. There's no mistakes here. We're having a good time. Happy to have you in the chat. Let's check in with Kayla. Kayla, also legions of screaming fans. How are you feeling after that racing?
Oh, man. Seven Islands is just so brutal. But, yeah, I was just crash galore in the other races, too. So that didn't help me out at all. So, But no, I still had fun tonight. The legs are still in it, but you know, I'm going to be able to recover and wind down in your class tomorrow. So that's going to be great.
Well, I am looking forward to that. We did just launch classes, so the Rise and Rip is going to be a class instead of a group ride. CVRcade.com, you can download the game and join us here. As we look at the replay, Kayla, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in the Rise and Rip and in racing on Saturday. Again, if you're just joining us or you're seeing the end of the racing here, this is some replays of the night. The power-up was dropped there by Team Cognition Racer there. Daniel, who was on rollers, we do say Fog7 says go Kayla. Yes, we are also on Twitch, I believe, too, as well. We mostly exclusively have been on Mixer these days, but we are all over the socials as well. So you can visit our video gallery to find out. That's what CVR Arcade is, CVR World Cup is saying here, to learn more about us. But this is the replay. Nigel coming across the line after duking it out with Jennifer, gives me the celebration play as he always does here. So that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. Back to the replay here quickly for the night here. Daniel, Team Cognition rider on Aquavello, the low skill event. One combat kit as a power up, uncrashable corner caper, quantum shift as the abilities, the low skill one-time multiplier event here on the course here. Kayla and Nigel duke it out at the finish. Kayla makes the break, gets a little bit of a bike length ahead of Nigel. Nigel stays in the draft, keeps digging, finds an opportunity, gives a little bit more power at the end, and just overtakes Kayla at the line. That was race number one. You can see he was pretty happy about that. Coming into race number two, Jennifer and Nigel, it was all head to head. These guys were trading blows. It was it was Nigel on the front. It was Jennifer on the front, and Kayla found herself on the chase, just always 3 or 4 seconds back. Wipes the sweat there from her lip, just knowing that she's trying to do everything she can with her power ups to make that gap. Thank you, Joubert. I appreciate it. And then Jeff Rooney, the Team Velocity rider here, does get hung up with Frank on that racing. And then we move on to Barnyard Velo, the high-tech course, a 2.5 multiplier race here with just 2 quantum shifts. We did see a lot of carnage and crashing out on course here. Hay bales in the way. My goodness, these racers were learning the congestion. They were trying to get around each other. Lapped riders are ghosted. You can go through them. Hay bales are not. You cannot go through them. But it was Aaron who made it to the front with his teammate. And he was saying, I'm going to step aside here. So at the very end, Aaron said, I know Jennifer's at the top. And at that point, if he gave her let her come by, she could capture more points. And that kept her high on the leaderboard. At the very end, they were communicating, and Aaron held down the front, did a completely tactical, excellent race. And at the end, he stepped to the side right here, 2 clicks over, lets Jennifer come around and take the points. That was some beautiful teamwork there here. Oh, thank you, Homeward Frame. And a shout out to all the racers from Homeward Frame. And then we saw on Summit Island, the redo. Man, I have been out riding on this one, but I haven't raced it. And I'm trying to learn all the visual cues, but it doesn't matter how beautiful this is. It just hurts. It's almost like the palm trees are like, oh, they're pretty, but you're just blind because your heart is pounding into your chest and your legs are screaming for others. They're on fire here. But Homer, Team Cognition rider here, is the headline here. Homer, as Nigel said, had rocket fuel, and was making everyone respond. Jeff had a crash. Jennifer did drop back a little bit, but that the effort and the points she gathered up front really was able to solidify her second place on the podium here. Let's see. Orderly Jaguar says, imagine how 20 kids play this game. They will race as well and eat burgers at the same time. You are right about that. That is so true here. And then we did see Daniel, and we saw Homer come to the line here. This last climb, is brutal. It goes 8-10%. He drops that weight lifted at the end here and says, I'm going to make myself lighter. I'm going to drop a box of rocks here and I'm going to come across the line. It's like 9%. I keep saying it's somewhere between 9 and 11% because it is somewhere between 9 and 11%. And that grade feels it in your legs. The track's communicating to your smart trainer. And then Nigel comes across the line second. He does take the overall win for the Omnium. Celebration win by Nigel. There it is. We always love that. And that's going to wrap it up for us tonight on CVRcade Racing. One little check-in with the chat here so he can show up and he gets blocked. Oh my God. Wait, see, I already have. All right. So let's see. Lots, LOL, best love, hate relationship. I think I missed part of the chat. But listen, thank you for joining us in the chat, cheering on the racers. Let me tell you, when I'm racing, I love hearing from you guys. So thanks for being a part. Follow us. See us again in the pens on Saturday. We race 3 times. And from everyone at CVRcade, we will see you then.
But no, Beth, your goes crashing down. Determination, the suffering, the ability to... And she's unleashed everything in this attack. See just how much that win means to him. All the marbles. Kayla versus Allison, and to the line. Kayla Laguna takes the victory.